You're watching PEGRI TV, Rhode Island's public access channel.
Welcome to the Single Ladies Cafe. This is Miss SC, and we are so happy to be back today. This topic that we're going to be talking about today, ladies, is going to be hot. Okay. So we're just asking, our sideline people to make sure our cups are full today because we got a lot to say today on this topic. Today we're going to be talking about men who have children outside of the relationship. I think pretty much, most women, kind of experience their spouses or their mates being unfaithful, and they have children outside, and it's not cool. A lot of things go on in the relationship. It takes a toll on the relationship sometimes if it's not handled properly. But we want to kind of dissect how to kind of deal with when he goes outside. And for the record, it's not just men. We do it too. Women do it too. We have babies, outside, and then we try to bring the babies back, to our spouses or our mates, and I don't know about all that. Yeah. So how are you ladies doing today?
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys look good.
Thank you.
So do you.
Thank you.
I'm loving the cut.
Hey,
yes.
Thank you. Something new.
Absolutely.
Something new. Try to switch it up every now and then.
It looks good on you.
Yes, it does.
Thank you, ladies. This particular segment, we're going to just talk about, should we stay or should we leave when something like that happens in the relationship?
That's a silly question. I'm just saying. That's
okay,
very
but wait
silly.
a minute. But wait. Before we even get there, let's. How would you feel? Let's talk about how we would feel first.
I'm gonna drink to that one.
You would go through different emotions: anger,
okay,
hurt, crushed,
yeah,
and maybe a little psychotic in the head after
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so. How about you? What do you think?
I'm gonna keep it real. They're
keep it
probably
real.
gonna catch a few slaps upside the head.
Oh,
and,
okay.
You probably should sleep with one eye open.
Oh, okay. Exactly.
I'm
Wow.
just saying.
That's exactly what I mean by the psychotic moment.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not cute. It's not cool. And any woman who says that they would not have that feeling is a liar.
Wow. I think while we're talking about the issue of things that go, many things that we're going to talk about today that goes on, but the bottom line is what's best for the kids. And we're going to decide, or talk to people who stay, some don't. So my next question is, should we stay?
No.
Why not?
That was deceitful. Why should you stay? No, you should leave. You should just.
Why would you stay?
Exactly.
What would make you stay? He cheated on you. If you have a baby outside of the relationship,
he didn't even use protection.
Right.
He didn't even care.
If you're gonna do it,
yeah.
if you're gonna cheat, then cheat, but don't bring home
the evidence.
a mess.
Okay, but we know that, let's be for real. We know that men cheat a lot. Right. Sometimes we catch them, sometimes we don't. Okay, I get the whole they're gonna cheat thing, but now you're bringing home a baby.
Right.
Okay, so, but what happens if you have children with him? You're just gonna...
He didn't think about it.
Exactly.
He wasn't thinking about it when he was out cheating and unprotected and in the moment. He wasn't thinking about me or his kids, so what about the kids?
Well, I just want to know,
He can still be a father on the outside.
But he just can't stay
Exactly.
at home with you
Exactly.
and the kids.
Exactly.
No? Well, there are women that do,
Most women.
right? There are a lot of women because for whatever reason they may stay. I know a lot of women will say that they wouldn't stay. I don't believe them. I don't.
Yeah.
Some will, some won't. I get those women, but there are. I think the majority is they stay.
I think it comes down to when it happens. It's like you really don't know what we could say what we will do, but you really don't know what you will do when it
until it
really
happens.
happens. You know what I mean? And I think that's what it comes down to it, because a lot of women will say, "No, I'm out the door as soon as it happens," but then those same women, I can say that they stay. You
They
know what I
do.
mean? They stay. You know, for whatever reason they do. So
Well, I think it's like anything. It could be, you know, financial. They have to stay. You know, if you've been the stay-at-home mom, you haven't been in the workforce, and you're depending on him to bring home the money. We stay for those reasons. That's one of the reasons why women will stay, or just they love the man. They, you know, if you've been married for like 15, 20 years, and he steps out and oops, there's a baby, you got to really think about, do I want to give up my life with this man? You know, versus where is the baby playing at?
I know, but then you have to also remember that with a baby comes the baby's mama. So my throat just keeps getting dry because I need a sip because I can't.
it's horrible because it happens, you know, and it's I would say it's a touchy subject on my behalf because I've been through it, you know. So I stayed for a while. I did.
What's a while, if you don't mind?
I
us
stayed
asking?
for
Like,
2 years.
ooh,
I stayed
a
for 2
long
years.
while.
Yes, a long while, and not. I wouldn't say because I just really forgiven him for what he did. I looked at me being married was not did I only make my commitment to him and to myself. I made it to God, and I wanted to fight for my marriage and stay in my marriage because I felt like that's what you were supposed to do in a marriage.
Okay.
So I did, and I let the child into my home. I helped take care of that child. When that child was sick, I was at that hospital with that child in the emergency room.
So, what are your feelings with that child right at that point? Like when you,
I
first,
had nothing against the child, but when it first hit me, it hit me hard when I was told that she was pregnant by him. I went psychotic. I'm not gonna lie, I was psychotic. I wanted to kill him, her, everybody.
Yeah.
When the baby was born, I went to the hospital.
What now? Why did you do that? Like
For some reason, I had this need that I wanted to see this child.
Okay.
And I went, it hit me, and it hit me even more when I asked what was the child's name, and she named him after my husband. At that moment, I wanted to strangle her. I literally wanted to take her life, so I left the hospital, and I told him, you need to get out. You need to leave. And yet and still, I went back into a relationship, and I took that child in as my own. I had nothing against this child. And at times, like, I would look at him, it would
So
it
what
would kinda
happened to her
disgust
though?
me. Like, she still was herself. I mean, she never really bothered with us as what I know. You know what I mean? What they could have did, they could have been on the hush hush. Exactly.
He was living with both of y'all. That's why.
Exactly.
She was quiet. He kept her
yeah,
quiet.
he kept her quiet. Exactly. And
Wow.
yeah, but it took a toll on me till one day I couldn't take it anymore. Just to see this child running around, it was a lot. You know what I mean?
Even in your home,
even in my
after you-
yeah, even in my home, just looking at this child,
I'm
it's a
just
lot.
trying to understand what. I guess because he reminded you of their relationship.
Yeah,
Is that
what he did. Yeah, just looking at this child was a reminder to me every day what my husband went out there and did.
Okay.
It was a reminder. So it took a toll on me to the point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. You know, I can't. This child is too much of a reminder, and I had nothing against the child.
Right.
Like, I love this kid, and I mean, and it was so funny because him out of his other children, this one child was the closest to me. Like, he
Wow.
followed me everywhere. yeah,
You
but
will
it took
good.
me a lot. But after 2 years, I couldn't do it anymore. I said, I can't do this, and I left. I packed up and I left.
Wow. Now, I get it because the kid is there all the time with you guys and not with his mom, and then he has to.
Yeah,
you know,
and it wasn't like the child was living with us. We would literally take the child on weekends. You know what I mean? For a week here, a weekend here, things
So
like that.
what did you do in the beginning? You didn't have a problem, or at least verbally you haven't said that there was a problem in the beginning. I would assume that 2 years later you decided to call it quits.
Yeah.
But what goes on between that time that you actually kept the baby? You were keeping the baby, like, is it strong? The
was-
feelings getting more, are you getting more angry at?
Yeah, I did.
At
I did
him,
get.
or-
I was.
Not the baby.
No, not the baby, but yes, more and more angry at him. But I still felt like I needed to fight for my marriage. I felt like this is my husband, and through thick and thin type thing, no
right.
matter what, you know what I mean? You try to stick it out, and you
Right.
try to be there for your husband and try to cope with it. And that's what I did. I tried to cope, and my coping mechanisms are very high. I have a very
Right.
tolerance
do.
for a coping mechanism, but this reminder every day, it was too much for me. You know what I mean? And I was like, wait a minute, I'm not doing this anymore. You know what I mean? I'm just not. Yeah.
We had a family member, an older family member. I won't say even what the relationship is to me. And the person that I knew who was the father of this person is not the father. And the father, the person that raised that child, didn't find out until the child was an adult and had already moved out. So we were not, and I don't think any of them even know that I
was
know.
to say, you letting out family secrets right now?
Well,
You gonna have everybody
that's why I'm
to
not.
the TV like,
That's why I'm not saying what the relationship is to me.
So once we get in the car, what you gonna be trying to figure it out? I'm who could that be?
Well, I'll never tell. But it happens, and I think this person stayed. The person that raised this child stayed with this person. Once they found out, I'm sure they were very upset, and they were. And I can even tell just in the behavior how things kind of changed, but still his son because he raised them. You know what I mean? So it just hurts. And then sometimes we just don't do it right. You don't tell people right. You know what I mean? So I think it was more the arguing and fighting, and then it kind of came out.
Well, at
Just
least
not.
if it comes from that person, because it's like, if this happened, then I think he should be a man and come tell the woman that this happened. But when you find out
Through
from someone
somebody
else,
yeah,
that's a
really
hurtful
bad.
thing. Yeah,
really bad.
that's hurtful.
I agree. I agree with you there. So I take it that you ladies would leave.
Yes, knowing what I know now, because at first I didn't. But if I was to do it all over again, I would be gone. I wouldn't deal
And
with
I would
her.
even say I know another family very close to me that I don't think this person know that I know either.
Wow.
But
You gonna not make it to heaven because you keeping everybody else.
I know I may as
do the
well
same
make it
thing.
to
I do the
heaven.
same
Hey, I
thing.
find out and I just keep it to myself.
I'm
so,
the same way.
But I think this again is another female that actually did the same thing. And I just, want to say to women, just be careful, and men too, be careful. So when we come back, we're gonna take a quick break, and trust me, this is gonna get more heated than we're, taking it easy right now. But when we come back, we want to talk about why some men kind of deny the child or don't acknowledge the child, and see where that's gonna take us and find out what's really going on there. Like, if you have a child, you have a child.
For real.
Blood is blood, family is
Exactly.
family, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so when we come back, hey everybody, we're back. Welcome to the Single Ladies Cafe. I am your host, Miss SC, And co-hosting today with me is Miss Kiki and Fox. Okay, ladies, we're back. We were discussing men who have children outside of their relationship, and what would we do? Would we stay? Would we leave? What are we supposed to do when they do things like that to us? Okay, you guys gave us some great feedback. So now we want to talk about, this is where it gets kind of touchy. First of all, we absolutely hate it when men deny our children. This is your baby. Why would a man deny his child?
Well, from personal experience.
If I'm the other woman.
If I can get
If I'm the other woman. Go ahead.
If I can get into personal
Yes,
experience.
please.
I was dating someone for many years, and at the time when we started dating, he had no kids. Then probably about 6 months, 7 months into our relationship, maybe even a little bit longer, then all of a sudden I get a meeting, a sit down. And you know when you have a sit down, something good is not coming out of the
It's
sit
I
down.
love you, but you know how I love you,
Right.
but.
So I had the sit down, and the sit down was, okay, well, you know such and such? Yes. Well, you know such and such baby? Yes. That baby is mine. Instantly, I just felt my body get really, really hot and rage. I was upset.
Yeah, that was dirty.
So it was very tough. It was very, very tough. Very, very, very tough to take in. And
Did you have children at the time?
I did not have any children.
Okay.
So we both had no children at the time. And I'll say that I'm a little selfish in the fact that I like to date men that do not have children. If we're going to have children, or if there's going to be children, they're going to be the children that we have together. So that was my thing going into the relationship. And just as time, I just couldn't accept it. I didn't want to
You
accept
couldn't
it.
accept the thought of him having a child with someone else, or you couldn't accept the
I couldn't
child?
accept
What was going
the
on?
thought of him having a child with someone else. I couldn't accept the person that he had the child with, and I could not accept the child.
Oh, wow.
Because at the time, we're thinking it's this person's baby, and meanwhile, before I found out, this is something that's been going on in the background. So he's been sneaking around and, seeing the baby and doing this and buying that and all that while I don't know about it. And finally, at some point, he knew that he had to break down and tell me. So he didn't deny her, but it was very hard. He couldn't talk about her around me. I just was not having it. And I know that it bothered him, but to me, I don't care. This is, you did this to us, you did this to me, this is your problem, you deal with it. I don't have to. So I wouldn't say that he denied her, but he just couldn't be himself and be a dad the way that he wanted to, because he knew that it bothered me.
Okay.
And I tried. I tried to, accept the baby, and I know it wasn't the baby's fault. It had nothing to do with the baby, but still, it was so much because, he had money, and everybody knew that. So my thing is okay, well, this chick is just trying to trap you because, she knows that you'll take care of her and you'll take care of the baby and you'll do this, that, whatever. I mean, I was young, so it was, immature thinking, but those are the things that you think about because now it's okay, now I have to share what I get with somebody else, and that's not what I signed up for. If I signed up for me and you, it's me and you till the wheels fall off. But now it started to be
They fell off.
it fell off real quick. So now it's starting to be me, him, the baby's mother, the baby's mother's boyfriend, and the baby's mother's boyfriend's family.
A whole lot of drama.
Family.
A whole lot of drama.
Drama, and I'm just is this guy really worth it? He's not worth it. So what he did, though, is he tried to be slick, and after he tells me about it, then he turns around, because my birthday is a week later, he turns around and takes me out to dinner, which it was pulling teeth to get me to the dinner. I was I'm all set with you, I'm done. I did the dinner, and he proposed to me on my birthday.
Wow.
So he puts a big rock on the table, and I'm like,
Very enticing.
And he had it with my favorite piece of cheesecake, and I'm like, wow.
You know, he had it with the cheesecake.
That was it. That
He
was
had me at
it.
the food. It was probably more the food than the ring. So I said yes. So I said, okay, well, let's try and work it out. You know, I mean, he loves me enough. He took a lot of time to go pick out a ring and this, that, whatever. And even still through all that, he still proposed. So I tried to make it work. Okay, well, down the line, here comes another girl showing up at my job and all kinds of nonsense. This is your boyfriend's baby and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So now I have to not only deal with this one, with all the drama with the first one, and mind you, the first one looks exactly like him. And when I seen the baby, I'm like, that baby looks like somebody I know. But I can't quite put my finger on it.
Wow.
And then coming to find out it was my boyfriend. So now I have another one who is saying that the baby is his. And now I'm just like, okay, like this is ridiculous now. Like this is becoming over the top. I will give him credit. The first one happened before we were in a relationship, so I really couldn't, you know, I took all that into consideration. It's not that he actually cheated on me. It's just, you know, and you knew a possibility that the baby would be yours. You should have said something.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
And he didn't. So that was my gripe with that one. I moved past that one. But now this one comes into the picture, and it was, I don't know, I think it was, I don't even remember how I found out about the baby. I think I found pictures of the baby or something like that. Like I had like his, some like a luggage or something in my car, and we found pictures of her little girl in the car.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, why would he have these pictures?
Exactly.
Asked him about it. Not my baby.
He was denying this one.
Not my baby.
He
And denied the baby the whole time up until about 8 months ago.
Oh my goodness.
This is 9 years ago.
Wow.
Wow.
And we broke up 6 years ago. So you had plenty of time to come out and say, it's my baby.
Right.
But the problem is that we have a child together now, which, don't ask me why. We're having a Mimi Force moment. But, you know, we had a child together. I love my son to death. Would not change it for the world.
I agree.
But he just now came out and told me that the one that I did initially question him about is his child. So,
So the purpose, what do you think the reason why he would deny it, just because he knew what your behavior was the first
think it
time he
had to
told
do
you?
with the first
Did he
time.
think that you guys were getting back or hoping
I
that?
think that he was trying to get back, and I also know for a fact that he knows that I have an issue with the person that he has the baby with.
He keeps having them babies with
With
people that you have an issue
that I have
with.
the issue with.
Like,
It's
what
like
is
having
that?
with
Like,
somebody
what is
that I
that?
don't know, but you have them with all the people that I have. And mind you, I don't have issues with people.
Right.
I didn't have issues with people until he came along.
Right, right,
Now that he's gone, I have no issues.
right. Well, that's a sign. Should I take him back or not?
And absolutely not.
Yeah.
I will not go back because, you know, I'm very adamant about it should have been just me and you. That's what I went into the relationship thinking, and that's how the relationship should have ended.
Right,
And
right.
it didn't.
Yes.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that just men just, it depends on situations. There's no exact way to pinpoint why a guy would deny him, except for the fact that they're embarrassed about what they did.
Scared.
They're still in denial, really.
Cowards.
Exactly. They're still in denial about, you know, everything that's going down. And, you know, it was just a headache. I mean, they went into DNA testing behind my back. You know, this costs money. Like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
for you to
Right.
do that
Yeah.
twice, and he's changing last names behind my back, so now the kids have his last name.
Oh, my
You know,
goodness.
it's trying to change names on birth certificates. It's just, you know, for you to go all that extra mile, you go over there. You be there.
I agree
And
with
I don't
you.
want to take away from you, you know, have a relationship with your kids because I'm not that person. But I don't want to be a stepmom. That's just not me.
Right.
Not my thing.
Gotcha.
So
Well, I think
I took up the whole segment. I'm
that
sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. It's
I really need
okay.
something in that.
Stronger. I think too, some men don't you know, they're not responsible, so they won't claim them or deny. They don't want the child support or have to pay child support. I mean, we can't leave that one out because a lot of men do that. And it even sometimes, you know, it may remind them of the person that they actually had the child with. So I think all these different things may be reasons for why men deny their children. Now, what I want to move into is something that you did say about, you know, you don't want to keep him from the kids, but what do? Do we allow them to have relationships with their babies? Because they have to deal with the baby mama, especially when you have an issue with the person before they even had the baby. So what do we do?
Well, see, I feel like this, if you're going to stay, then you're going to have to think about all that, because if you're going to stay with this man that cheated and had this other baby, you're going to have to allow him to see that child. No, I mean, you could have your own stipulations on, hey, it needs to be here and maybe I need to be around and, you know, things like that, but you have to allow this man to see his child, because if that was you, let's say you was the other woman and you happen to have this baby, you expect that man to still be there for that baby because, hey, that we did this, so you need to, no matter which end it comes from, that the other person they need to see that child, and you have to allow that, because you still have to allow them to be a parent.
It was tough because I said, do not bring that baby in my house.
I
don't want the baby in my car. Don't have your baby's mother in my car. If I find a strand of hair that don't match mine, we're gonna have problems.
Let me tell you, and I know someone who handled it just like you did, and there's a very close person to me. We handled it differently, but
the woman person to you?
To me, yes, and they handled it the way that Fox handled it. That they're still with this person, but that child is not allowed there. You better not even speak of that child.
Wait. Let me make sure I'm following you. The woman that he had the baby.
No, she had someone with a
similar situation as Fox.
I was gonna say, wait a minute.
No, I'm not friends with. No, I'm not that crazy.
No.
But I might be a little off at times. I'm not crazy. Right. But no, I just know someone who went through the same way that Fox went through it, and they handled it the same way.
Did they have children previously?
Yes, they
okay,
had
I was just
2
gonna
children
see if that would make
own.
a difference, because if you're a mom before that happens, would you take that into consideration?
They had 2 children of their own, and they were married, and they were high school sweethearts, and they're still married, but the speak of the children, that's a no-no.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a no-no.
No, I mean, even still to this day, like, my son is not allowed to go over to the other baby's mother's houses. I allowed my son to have a relationship with his sisters. I'm not that person. I'm not going to take that away from my son. But he's not allowed to go over to their houses or anything like that. Like, if you're going to if you have to drop your children off and you think you need to go inside, you need to drop my son off first. Like, I don't care how much you have to backtrack up and down 95. You need to bring my son home first, and then go do whatever it is that you have to do. So, I mean, no. Like, I don't trust one in particular. The other one, she has her boyfriend. Her and her boyfriend, they fought a lot through it, and they ended up getting married, having another baby. So they're living their life.
That makes a difference.
But you got this other idiot that just
that
will
still
not
wants to
move
get
on
clingy and all that.
and will just
crazy.
Just
crazy.
And so I mean, my son loves his sisters and they love him. So I'm not gonna take that away from him.
Well, we're gonna talk about that in our next segment about. And I'm glad you said that, because a lot of women don't. They don't allow the siblings to have a relationship. So we're going to pick that back up. We're going to go to a quick break right now. And then when we come back, we'll just kind of finish up our topic on, should the siblings be a part of their siblings' lives? We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies, to the Single Ladies Cafe. I am your host, Miss SC, and I got 2 lovely ladies with me, Miss Kiki and Miss Fox.
Thank you.
She's always yelling at me about calling her Miss Fox. She says, drop the miss. I'm Fox. I'm sorry. In this segment, we're going to continue. Wow. Whew. When I think about that last segment, Anyway, I'm sorry, ladies, that you guys had to go through all that. Like,
Thank you for apologizing because they barely did.
right, you know, and they don't, I don't think they get it, how much it hurts. It hurts us when they do things like that. It's more or less like, well, I did it and deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm dealing with it the best way that I can.
I got the apology, but it was like I made a mistake. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. That was a decision.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not a
Right.
mistake.
And by then, you're old enough to know better.
Exactly.
What
Yeah.
you know what mistakes
And then when
are.
you keep doing it. 'Cause
Right.
That's the one thing. Like the apology, okay, I get it, but then when it comes up
do it
again,
again.
Right.
it's like enough is enough.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I am so tired of apologies to this day. It's just sickening. Like I'm,
much.
like, it's just there's
They
nothing
don't.
you can say.
They don't mean anything. But because
There's
to me,
no
when you say
apology.
sorry and you apologize, that means you're not
won't
going to
do
do it
it
again
again.
because you
Yeah.
apologize. That means you understand
Right.
and you're not going to do it again. But when
Right.
you do it again, your apology means nothing
Well,
anymore.
it bothers me that, first of all, when you apologize, you should be asking me to forgive you.
Right.
Number one. And then you need to, by the time I forgive you, you need to be working on bettering your behavior. So where you have time while you trying to better things with me to go out and make another baby is, ooh, it's ludicrous. It's just crazy. Ooh, but anyway. So we're gonna let the kids have a relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Just you do it. I'm not getting involved.
Yes.
You make all the efforts that you need to make sure that your kids hang out. I'm not dropping them off. I'm not picking them up. I'm not making sure that I keep track of this one's birthday and that one's birthday. That's your job. And if you're not around to make that stuff happen, that's your problem. And then they can figure it out when they're old enough to figure it out, but I will not do it.
Okay. How do
I-
you feel about that?
I agree. If the children were not there before I was, then yes, you're on your own. Now, if the children were there before me, and I agree,
Right.
because that's a package deal, I'm going to make sure that no matter. But if that child came during our relationship, oh no, I'm not doing none of that. None of it at all.
I'm not buying
you do
no
it.
gift. You go out and do it. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. That's your problem, your mistake.
But they can come in the house now.
Yeah.
They can come to your house now, though.
No.
No?
No, no, no.
So-
if we lived together, if I stayed,
Yeah.
Then
if-
okay.
So your son has to go outside of the home
Correct.
To go
to
see
be
those
able to
child.
see.
Yes.
his sisters cannot
Yes.
come. They're not hanging in
So
my
where
house.
are they meeting? Are you sending them back
Sending them
to
with the dad.
baby?
Sending them with the dad.
Their
mama?
dad needs to collect them and take
And take
them
them
out
out.
and do things with them together. Take them to his
Yes.
house, take them on
To
an
the
outing.
park or whatever.
I don't care where you go, as long as my son is not at your baby mama's house. That's all I'm saying.
Oof, you women.
I don't
Vicious.
care. I don't care. I don't care. Why does my son need to be there? There's nothing in your house that my son needs that he can't get at home.
Okay.
So if you're gonna pick up your kids and you're gonna be a daddy, then make sure you have enough money in your pocket, or make sure you're creative enough to do something on the outsides.
Okay.
Because my son's not gonna go sit in somebody else's house for what? He can do that
Well,
at home.
I have, my children have been to the other person's house, but that's because I left the relationship. Now, I think if we were still together, I think I'd probably feel different. But now I'm just like, whatever, as long as she doesn't disrespect my children, that's a whole nother,
I don't trust 'em.
story. Well, see, you see,
don't
there was
trust
an
'em.
issue with
Yeah.
that, but see, we don't really have that issue. It was just that,
Right.
what that happened in that case. But other than that, as long as my children doesn't come home and say, hey, she said this about you or about me, I could care less. I really could, as long as, but you're not bringing them to my house, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're not bringing that child to my house,
So
but they
the-
can go, my children can go there, as long as there's no disrespect with my children.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this out here. I read an article where the gentleman said that it was on the other side, where she had the affair and had a child outside of the relationship. He has full custody. He doesn't get any financial support. Not only he, but 6 of his other friends are single dads too. and are in the same.
Where are they at?
That's what state are they live in?
That's what I wanted to
Where
know. I
are
was
they
trying
at?
to go
Okay,
back
that's-
and look and see where they were from.
That's
and-
not in New England.
It's not up north at all.
No,
No,
not
that's
at all.
down south
Not at all.
somewhere.
I don't know, but
Idaho.
I was just thinking,
Maybe.
like, the roles kind of switched a little bit, and I think that men may take things, handle it a little better. I don't know, because I get the feeling that the child does go see the mom, because he said, you know, she comes and the child.
Yeah, when there's no attachment. But I can tell you right now that if I had if the roles were turned, that he would be acting up.
If the roles were
He
turned
would
on
be
my
acting
side,
up.
I would have
think
been
it
dead.
just- You're right. I think it just depends on the person, and I think that majority of the men, because I think we said it in the last one, a lot of men got female traits these days, and I really think that they would be acting up.
I
It
do
wouldn't
too.
be. I think it's just really a mature person who is still allowing the baby to go
Yes.
see their mother and not have any issues with it. Because there are some guys that really just want their kids to have a relationship with both parents.
Right.
But most of them, they're crazy just like we
Yeah.
are,
Yeah.
and they would be causing all kinds of drama.
Yeah.
I think the final word on the children is, I think that it does take a bigger person to allow the children to have a relationship with one another. Not only that, to even have allow the father to have a relationship, and then be able to take them in and out the house, and really, not that they don't have feelings or they weren't at some point disappointed or, you know, hurt or whatever the case may be, but for the kids' sake, we have to make it work. We have to make it work. So I think whenever you find yourself in that particular situation, we have to keep our attention on the children and make sure blood is blood.
I agree.
There's nothing the kids can do about it. This is what grown-ups threw them in the mix of.
I agree
You know what
with
I mean? So whenever we can, we should encourage parents who may feel that I don't want anything to do with them anymore, or it's not important that they have a relationship. It is very important,
It is.
that those children
No matter
have a
how we
no
feel.
matter how we feel.
I
So with that said, we're gonna leave it right here, and then we're gonna go into exposure with the Fox, and we're gonna let Fox kind of like give us some
Cool us
better
down a
news.
little bit.
a little
Cool us
bit.
down.
Yeah,
Cool us
yeah,
down.
give us a little better news.
Cool us down.
To talk about. So, Fox, what do you have?
Well, I have your celebrity news and gossip for the day.
Okay.
And it's actually kind of boring in the celebrity
Really?
world. Yeah.
No way. I got a lot of stuff I could talk
There's
about.
no drama. There's no drama.
What?
So, I mean, I will give you guys a follow-up. The last show, I did mention that Kyle Glover, who is the son of Tamika Foster, Tamika Raymond, depending on who you ask, was in a very bad jet ski accident, and he was declared brain dead. Well, unfortunately, they had to take him off of life support, and little Kyle has passed away. So, very, very sad. Everybody was praying for a miracle, and unfortunately, we didn't get that prayer answered. But I'm sure Tamika's going through a very tough time right now. And you know what? Actually, I mentioned in the last show that I hoped that this situation would kind of
Yes, you did.
make Tamika and Usher
Yes.
grow up a little bit and be a little bit more mature about their.
And they are,
They
right?
are not.
Oh, come on.
What happened?
So Usher has requested with the judge that they delay because they have a new date coming up very soon. So he requested that they delay their trial date, and Tamika, of course, is not hearing it. And Usher's reasoning behind it is because he feels that if the judge will take Tamika's side a little bit in giving her custody of the children because of the situation that she's dealing with now.
Yeah.
So Usher's trying to postpone it a little bit so that he can, you know, the sensitivity of the
Right,
situation
would go away.
Yes.
would die down a little bit. And Tamika,
gotcha.
she's just not hearing it. She's like, no. She was like, you know, Usher really hasn't been very supportive during this time. You know,
Oh,
there's
I
been
thought he was.
Well, there's been reports that, you
Wow.
know, he chartered a jet for her to be with him right away when, you know, the jet ski accident happened. Some are saying that he might have even paid for the funeral costs. I don't believe that at all. But she was saying that one thing was that she wanted him to send out a tweet or something like that just to acknowledge Kyle, and she said it was just this big argument, he wouldn't do it. And anybody who follows Usher on either one of Twitter or Facebook, he didn't do any kind of acknowledgement to the.
Are you serious?
You know, his reasoning behind it is he didn't want to take, you know, the light off of her and put it on himself. I mean, just acknowledge the little boy. You were raising him for whatever amount of time that you was with Tamika. You could at least say something.
Yeah, I think so.
So, I don't know yet. There wasn't anything back on whether the judge was going to allow the pushback, the postponement of the date. So, we'll see what happens. Next up, Drake.
What now?
Drake is supposed to be.
In the last one, he was fighting.
He was fighting with Chris Brown over Rihanna. This one now, if you didn't know, he is a huge Aaliyah fan, and to the point where he has a tattoo of him on his back, and he was of Aaliyah.
Oh my goodness!
His face on his back, and he has actually, I think it was he was updating his little back tattoo with more stuff with, I think it was like her birthday or something like that.
Really?
But either way, okay.
Obsessive.
A little obsessive, right. But now what they're saying is that he's supposed to executive produce a new album for Aaliyah.
No.
Is he serious?
No.
I'm not feeling it
No,
at all. I think
not at
that
all.
you should leave the dead, let them rest in peace, and let us remember that artist as we remember them.
She was our princess. Leave her alone.
Leave her alone.
Not let alone. My thing is how do you know that she would even want to work with you?
Right.
Like who? Like, you know,
Is
maybe
he
to you you're great.
I agree with you. Wow. Okay, he sounds a little off.
He's a little off to me, and I totally disagree with him putting this album out and executive producing it. And I don't want to hear Drake all over it
Is this
either.
a publicity stunt again?
I don't know if it's
Because see, like I would like to. Now I would want to hear it though.
I don't know.
No.
I want the last album that Aaliyah had was her self-titled album, Aaliyah, and that is where I want to
should
leave
stay.
it off. Everybody knows her for Rock the Boat.
Yeah,
we all
love
know that
that
she
song.
passed away because she did the video for Rock the Boat. I want to leave it at that.
like that.
If there are unreleased tracks, I don't want to hear the unreleased. It's creepy.
Yes.
Okay, I just bet if we went to his bedroom, he has like all these
posters.
collages
Yeah.
of her.
Like it's
like
just a little obsessive. It's like you've
like
already
what do you
done.
call a shrine?
Yeah,
Yes.
like he's done an album
Yes.
already, and he sampled her already. Leave it at that. We don't want to hear a whole nother album of Aaliyah.
Yes.
Just can't do
Gotcha.
it.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So,
gotcha.
You know, I don't know.
You don't know?
But they did put a new album out called Enough Said. A new single, I'm sorry, called Enough Said.
With Aaliyah
With
on
Aaliyah.
it.
It's cute, but I don't know about all that other stuff. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. So told you it was kind of boring in the celebrity world.
Okay, so let me ask you this: Love and Hip Hop,
Oh man.
like for real, like Stevie, really like the whole thing with I don't know. Did you watch it?
I did not.
I fell asleep too. I missed
did
it
not.
too. I fell asleep.
So we're gonna have to go through this on the next
Catch it.
episode.
You guys got to catch up because it actually was good and kind of peaceful, but it's just
Yeah.
with the couples,
Yeah.
I don't know if they're just, I don't know. I can't even say they're just finding themselves because the new couple, yeah, but the rest of them, you've been married for a long time. Like, you know, I don't know. But anyway, we are going to wrap this segment up. Thank you so much
No
for the
problem.
celebrity news and gossip. We really appreciate
Anytime.
all the
I
information
look
that
at
you
Drake
give us.
differently now.
Well, I've been looking at him differently now anyway. I just think that he's become a very arrogant person. I mean, he's just been in the news. He said something about, you know, he's the only one that's been rapping and singing and making it hot. And it's like, no, there are plenty of people, Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott, etc.
That has done that.
I'm slowly but surely not liking him anymore.
All right. Well, when we come back, thank you again.
Anytime.
When we come back, we're going to have JV come out and give us our social media input for our topic today. We'll be right back, everybody. We are back, and joining us today on the Single Ladies Cafe in this segment is JV. Hey, JV.
Thank you for having me again. Well, this topic's been going. I've been back there taking all my notes, comments.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, I'm
Okay,
into
you
this
got
now.
some comments from the Facebook fan
Facebook,
page,
yes.
which is what we love for you to do. Give us some feedback on what they think and you know, how they do things, because you know the audience has already heard us, so now we want to get some feedback from
Our audience.
yeah. So tell me, tell us what the question is.
All right. The first question was the actual question on should men go outside the relationship or no? Well,
When they
How
have
do
the
we
baby.
when they have the
How do you
babies.
feel?
Yes, that one. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Whether or
I was
not should they?
I was jumping to the second
Definitely
question.
not. Absolutely not.
I was jumping over to this next question.
That's all right.
All right, so Amber says she was mad, but they have kids as well. They stayed together for a little while, then they knew it wasn't working out. They are now married. Yeah, her ex-husband was now married and not happy with this new girl.
Oh.
And she says they deserve each other as well.
Oh, wow. So,
I think I can agree. I think that
Yeah.
he deserves to be with the other people
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
you know what? I think what I'm getting is that eventually, no matter how long the women stay with these men, eventually the relationship is terminated at some
Yes.
point. Not everybody, but a lot of the women do leave, is what
Yeah.
I'm getting. Okay.
All right, Stephanie writes, straight out broke up with him. Then he married, but they already got a divorce.
Oh, wow.
And here's the icing on the cake. She is due around now. He already has a new girlfriend living with him.
He's just messy.
So Stephanie is happy that she dumped him.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Good for you,
Yes,
Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Good for you.
Yes.
Go, girl.
So that was a decent one.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, for them to
Who
be
is that man? Because I don't want to date
Right,
him. Like, who
exactly.
is that?
I don't even
He
want
doesn't
to
live
know.
in this state, right?
They need to be,
hope
you know
not.
what we should do? We should start a Single Ladies Cafe. Stay away
Flag.
from them.
Yeah,
flag.
Right.
Stop
Website,
flagging these
and you
men.
can start posting people on them. I
Yes.
think I'm gonna work on
Yes,
that.
All right, let's work on that.
That'll be cool.
So Roxanne mentions she is sad but happy because she found out what type of man he really was before she wasted any more time with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, so here's a very long one. Lily has a very good comment. This happened to me 2 years ago. I was with someone for 6 years, and within those 6 years had not one but two within our relationship. It made me feel as though I wasn't good enough for him. Made me have such hatred towards him. I stayed in the relationship 5 months after the second baby was born.
I don't blame her.
We broke up because I would never accept those kids in my home.
Oh,
Kids are innocent, but to know how they came into this world just turned my stomach, and till this day it still does.
oh wow.
I can.
It is hurtful and painful.
I agree with her
completely understand, like word for word,
Yes.
like everything. That
Yes.
is my situation, or
Yes.
was my situation.
I just
Right.
still have question marks. It didn't happen to me, so I don't. I can understand where the women are coming from. It's just that I'm just thinking, like, especially over time, like, does time kind of heal those wounds where you can kind of have a relationship with those kids, like, you know, where it's to the point where they can't even come to your home.
No.
To me, is just outrageous.
Well,
a
if
little
you
bit.
stay, then I think it's, to me, I feel like if you're gonna stay, then that's a package now. You know what I mean? But if
Right.
you,
Okay.
you know what I mean? But if you leave and, you know, and they're coming to get the other kids and stuff, no, I don't want to. I don't want to do with these other children. Why wait
Not
2
leaving
years?
fast
So. Seriously, because honestly, I feel like once we find out, that's just deceitful.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
need to be gone because that is done. It's done now.
Okay, but look, ladies, I know we're tough and we do, you know, but the first time, a mistake, no?
Yeah, but then
The
when,
second
like we
time.
already
Okay,
said,
okay,
when they
but-
do it again, it's like, okay,
I
wait,
get
you're not
that.
getting
Okay,
two
but,
strikes on this
but a
situation.
mistake to me is when I write something wrong and I can take an eraser and erase
Right.
it. You can't erase that now.
Right.
See, to me, okay, if you cheated and okay, that's a mistake. There's nothing came out of it. But once that kid is there, you can't erase that anymore. You know what I mean? Every time you look at that child, that's a reminder of it.
I think I was watching Diary of a Mad Black Woman the other day.
Ooh, girl.
And one of the things that Medea said that if you can be around that person and not take your anger out or beat them up or whatever it is, then you moved on. But if any opportunity that you have that you can beat the hell out of
I
them,
know that's right. I know that's
Yeah,
right.
then you're not over
Yeah.
it.
I think I
Yeah.
can see myself
I'm gonna
in the
walk
bottom.
Yeah, I grew hate for my husband. There was hate. I mean hate, and I don't hate people. I might say I
Right.
don't
Well,
like
he did
someone.
something to you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that
Earned
became
that.
that became a hate. So if I hate you, I'm liable to kill you
Oh.
at any moment. So
You just can't. Like it's when they cross that line, that's a serious line to cross, and it's very, very tough to get back.
I wish
over.
we could educate men, like really educate them. It not so much about just saying I don't want you to cheat, but to educate them about what we feel. I don't think they get it. Like they
they
just
don't.
I get it that you might have cheated and it's over, and maybe it was just a body that you feel that, but when you cross the line, it hurts.
Well, the problem
It
is
hurts.
that I think some of them understand. My issue is that why do you keep doing it?
exactly.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And that's
Yes,
the
I
thing.
agree.
It's like they don't stop at the one. They keep
They
going,
keep
and going and
because
going
they feel
and
like
going.
they got over the first time and then we allowed it. That's what they
Right.
feel like. We allowed
We
it to
took 'em
happen.
back
We took
then.
them back. But they're gonna do it again. Oh, she'll be okay. You know what I mean? But that's not the case.
Okay,
Wow.
JV.
We're so into this.
Yeah.
All right, we got.
Touchy subject.
Yes, it is. Very. But I got one from Twitter.
Oh, okay.
So Summer Hawkins Punter, if we are married, I'm not saying we would divorce, but it would be a hard road back after much prayer and counsel.
Good response. Good response. I think you do need much prayer
Yeah, you
and
do.
much counseling. I
Beating
think
the hell out of them.
yeah,
He needs to be praying.
over about.
But I'm not doing this
yeah.
ever.
Yeah,
I think the
exactly.
problem might be a lot of women that don't take that route is why it's so hard for them to snap back
Right.
and go forward. So I think prayer and counseling is very good.
Right. That was all from
Thank
the
you very
first
much.
question.
Oh, there's another one.
This the second one for her stepping out of the relationship. And Lisa says no. Stepping outside of the relationship is never okay. If he wants children, he should be discussing other ways to have children as a couple.
Oh, that was the
question.
one
That-
where
Do you think it's
You can't
okay
have
if
kids.
you
Right.
if
Yeah.
you can't have kids.
Okay.
So like if a woman, like if you're married or you're in a relationship, which I always say don't have kids out of a relationship, but out of marriage. But my thing is, should we
Allow them to go have children with
if we
someone
can't
else?
have kids?
No, I mean, obviously, the
definitely not.
logical
But
way of
if-
thinking
but-
about that is go adopt one.
Yeah.
Why?
because-
I want my own blood. Why do I have to
No,
go and adopt a
because
child?
you
I
You
want
can
my
have
own
a
blood.
surrogate, but we're not allowing you
Because
to
don't
step
you
out.
think before you went into this marriage, you discussed that I can't have
You
kids?
should've.
So if you
Yeah.
didn't discuss
But
that,
no,
then
not
that.
always,
Sometimes
because
people
sometimes you find out
in
during
the
the
relationship.
Well, see, then that's on the woman too, because she should have said that she can't have
I
children.
think
or
that
But
he
she
should
may
have-
not know. She may have
No.
just, they're
Well,
trying
well,
and
no,
they've been.
no.
I think
no.
that you can agree on someone carrying your baby,
Yes,
but
I
a lot,
agree.
but
Or-
letting
or-
them step
or
out and
adopting,
do
or,
the
like
do
she
with
said,
somebody
surrogate,
else.
But no, you are not.
But
no.
when you can medically have them, handle that, and he wants to have his own, use the woman's egg and his sperm and all that, and you have someone carry the baby, yeah. But for him to just go out and cheat because he
Yeah.
wants to have a baby,
yeah.
No, definitely not.
No.
no,
Okay,
absolutely.
I tried.
not. No, it's not
I
okay,
was just
fellas.
trying to
No,
find
it's
out.
not.
I was trying to.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, James. Next.
But that is all I that I have for this week.
That's it.
was
Okay.
good.
But
some good
it's
responses.
very, yes.
Wow, they were very, very good responses, and I think we just like, I really want to go back to that whole thing about men cheating anyway, and not just men, because women do it too, and we bring babies home too, and men take care of our babies that we bring home, but I just think that men are just, and let's do Love and Hip Hop real quick, because
She just can't get off of this.
I know, right? Let's do it.
my thing with that is like with Stevie J, when he has the nerve, like, does he not get how Mimi hurts? You
He
have
doesn't care.
yeah.
If you really listen to their story, he has 5 other babies' mothers. 3 of them are girls. He does not care. He just doesn't want his daughters to end up with somebody like him. I heard him say this on an interview recently.
How can you
Say
But
that.
but at the end of the day, he was on and off with her for 15 years. He has 5 other babies' mothers. Why would you go have a child with him and yours is the youngest out of the 5?
Seriously.
Well, yeah.
Because you should, come on, it's right there in your face. Why would,
Well, here's my thing. I wouldn't date any man that had more than one other woman. When you got, to me, when you have 2, 3, 4, 5, come on. Like, that's all you do. Now it's
Plus,
like,
he's been engaged with other women. You know, Eve. That was a high-profile relationship
it
that
was.
they
but not
had.
only that, he just aborted one. He just made Jocelyn.
Jocelyn
come
is a
on now,
man.
that,
You can't
there's no way
abort
she can
if you're a
have,
man.
I'm with you there.
Exactly.
I'm with you
And
there.
She got the nerve to be surprised that people say she look at me and she says she's never heard that I said you a liar.
she never heard that.
She said
I
she's
remember, but I
never
thought-
heard that.
You should have put the tape of our show on her Facebook page so she can hear us say
Yeah,
it.
but Fox,
You a
I
man.
thought that people were coming forward that Jocelyn went to school with was saying that was a man during school.
No, now they're saying that she has a twin.
Oh, come on.
They were paid off, girl.
She got a
They were
twin.
paid.
I need
She
to
got a twin.
get into this.
It's just, but you know what? I look at that other, when I look at her situation, you knew he was in a committed relationship.
Yes, so
and
why
for
did you
to
step
have
in?
it right.
Why did you
That's
step
where
in?
I'm going
Well, you
right
know,
now.
I don't know because I was on his Instagram. I'm following him on Instagram, and he has a picture of
His kids?
Mimi,
Oh.
but he calls the baby Eva's mom instead of saying, you know, my girl or whatever
Well,
the case may
I mean,
be.
look at how many celebrities out there that does not claim their wife.
They're off the chain.
R.
we
Kelly was
gotta,
wrong for
we
that.
gotta,
She knew exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm done. That's next week's topic.
He's
That's
looking
next
good
week's
these
topic.
days. He's
We gotta wrap it up, ladies. We have said everything that we needed to say about these men that have their babies outside. We ain't taking your baby kids from
No.
somebody else's. We'll see y'all
Alrighty.
next time. Thank you for tuning in. This is a Single Ace Cafe.